Hello, everyone. Nice to see you on our weekly leadership call. I see there's people still coming in, so I'm going to give you a moment. Um, my name is Vanessa. For those of you who don't know me, I've been with Lumi since May 2020. I think it's four. I don't know. I can't remember. Since very a long time. And it's just such an honor to see our team growing in alignment and feeling the pulse, the remembering of this mission. And what I wanted to do today is actually I want to talk about the invisible. So we have the challenge of the first light right now, and I feel like there's so much that has been provided. In fact, kudos to all of you who are fully in it. Thank you all that like those of you who shared your testimonial on the corporate call. So I feel like we have enough information on first light and how to activate that. But what I wanted to do is, first of all, start talking about the power of the invisible and the role that it plays in building your business here. And then I wanted to open and see, where are you feeling perhaps some contraction? Where are you still feeling some hesitation? Where can I help you on not maybe something that you feel is holding you back? And then we'll kind of allow you to open your mic and also, share. Does that work? Yes? Okay. So one thing that I work really closely with every single day is the invisible field. The invisible field is basically everything that happens before we actually have tangible and visible results. And this is not something that we have a lot of practice on. And correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you can put it in the chat, but this is something that we all have capacity to work with, but we have not been really taught how to work with the invisible and to stay working with it until it becomes a reality. So perhaps right now you're in the stage of building your business, you're in the stage of, planting the seeds, you're doing outreaches, you're making connections, and then the doubt creeps in. Then you're like, why am I doing this? Am I doing this for nothing? Is anybody listening? Like anybody home? Why is nobody replying? Why? Right. And especially when we commit to a challenge, sometimes it feels like, why am I doing this? Like, am I being seen? And there's so many different things at play. But what I've really come to notice and observe is the power of our thoughts and the power of our posture as a leader while we are waiting for tangible results. And the people that are able to really break through, and I will even say break free, which is, I believe, the reason, like the common reason why we're all here. It's to actually reclaim parts of our sovereignty, parts of our freedom, right? Through, of course, impact, helping people tap into new wellness sources, but if also revenue streams, right? And maybe put a me in the chat if like sovereignty and freedom is part of the codes you're here to reclaim as part of Lumivitae. Just so I know. Okay, yes, perfect. So then we have to ask ourselves, okay, so basically what we're asking is for a transaction. I'm going to call it with the universe. You can insert whatever you believe in, God, spirit, mother nature. We are wanting to build a transaction, an energetic transaction where I am wanting to reclaim my sovereignty and my freedom. Okay, that's my want. That's what I want to receive. Then what do I need to do? What's the output that is required for the universe to respond to that? And a lot of it, if not most of it, comes from the invisible. Who am I while the results are not here? What are the thoughts in my head and the beliefs I have about myself and my worth to receive this while the results are not here? That is the walk. And whether you've realized it or not yet, Lumivitae, that is the walk that is required. It is so much light that it actually is shining light on the places about us where we are still not fully trusting ourselves, even while the results are not here. This thing shines so bright that it illuminates the places where we still are not fully in trust. where we are still doubting our actions ourselves, and most importantly, if we are legitimate to receive. So I wanted to bring this up because sometimes we'll go into actions, 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 and of course the actions are required, but the problem is if we stop trusting after we've planted a seed, then suddenly it's like we're removing the fertile soil. The fertile soil is your energetic field. So I might be doing all the actions, but if there's nothing to support it, the seed can't grow roots. The seed can't shoot out. Can you feel that? So our job is to understand that actions are required, but most importantly, your fertile soil needs to be tended to. And so this is really what I wanted to, kind of bring an open mic on, because I would love to help you believe while things are still invisible. I would love to help you trust that everything is possible even while you are waiting. I would love to help you see that you are not delusional for wanting the things that are on your heart, even if they're not here yet. I would love to help you remember that it's precisely the codes you came here to activate through the vehicle of molecular hydrogen and Lumivitae, because that is what this molecule does. It shoots so much light into your cells, into your memory, into your waters and the imprints that you have, that it's coming to like show you, oh, this is something that's been holding you back. And it's going to do it in sometimes the most gentle way, the sneakiest way, and sometimes in like massive ways that you can't ignore. It's interesting because my head gets it, but then it kind of makes me sick to my stomach. Yes. So yes, triggered. And that's it. Now, that's perfect. That's perfect for transition. What you're feeling is a physical sensation. Because the knowing of what I'm talking about, the knowing about the invisible field, guess what? It doesn't live in your head. It lives in your body. And Jen, I'm looking at you right now because Jen Newman, I know you work a lot with, fascia, memory, craniosacral, which is also like sort of the physical invisible work, right? But so much lies in there. The pulse lives in there, in those waters, right? So it's the same thing. So our body knows before our head. Do we all agree on this? Our body holds wisdom that our head can't comprehend. Sometimes it is because perhaps there's been an event when you were, or an event that created a bit of a protective amnesia, where like your body went into survival when you were maybe a child, and then you started walking life through survival, thinking that that's the only way. Okay. What we are doing here with Lumivitae, as soon as we bring molecular hydrogen in the body, and that is why, actually, you guys, this is why not everybody is being called at the same time into this mission, because it depends on the people's body's readiness. This has been my observation since I've joined. Not everybody is ready to actually open up what molecular hydrogen will open up at the same time. And so that is why trusting the invisible is required. You can trust that people will get it, but you can also trust the divine timing of it. And that is why if you place the actions in full alignment and you trust that people will get it when they'll get it, because not everybody is ready to actually see what their body has been protecting them from. Not everybody is. Not every nervous system is ready to receive that. And especially when you drop something like an LVIQ, it's like the freaking bomb. And not everybody is ready to receive that. And why I'm saying this is because it's really important that you don't internalize a no from someone or a non-response from someone as, oh, this is not a good product, or, oh, like self-doubt, or maybe I'm not the right one. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with the quality of the product. It has nothing to do with the brand. It has everything to do with their own body's readiness. Guys, the power of this molecule is, we know it. That's why we're here, right? It's not only just we're building $1 billion company, we're building a remembrance. Not everybody is equipped. Not everybody is supported like we are. Not everybody is able to open that can of worms that comes with starting to drink this liquid light. And that is why. Okay, so can you start to see a shift here? Okay, I understand that it's already done. The people that are meant to be receiving this medicine will. The people that are meant to be hearing this call will. It's inevitable because it's already done. The people that are meant to hear about it and get the green light from the universe to be like, yes, your body's ready for this, will get it. Yes, 111. Yes. And so if I know that to be true, and maybe just like take a moment to tune in and be like, okay, do I know that to be true? That the people that are meant to be walking by my side, it's already done. They're here. So then what do we have to work with here? What's left is the dial of time. The dial of time then has everything to do with your invisible field. And this is how we quantum leap. And so what that means is if I know that it's already done, and the people that, and I trust the divine design of when people are saying yes, then I know it has nothing to do with me per se, meaning nothing bad with me, but it has everything to do with me being seen in my light at that moment. So that's my only job. My only job is to be seen in my certainty, in my conviction. My only job is to attune my frequency every time I drop back into self-doubt, come back into what I know. Come back into, I know it's already done. I know the people that are meant to be hearing this for their own healing, for their own evolution, for their own growth will, because it's already predetermined. We've already picked that. So what this does, and hopefully you're starting to be like, oh, okay, it takes that weight off. Then we actually get to have fun doing this. Then we actually stop the suffering. Because we do self-inflict a lot of suffering when the results are not coming the way we thought they would come in the time that we thought they would come, right? Who here like is pro at self-suffering? Like, yes, because that's the old way we've been shown to build success. It's got to bleed, it's got to hurt. Otherwise, you can't be worthy of receiving. That frequency cannot coexist with the frequency of Lumivitae. It's not an energetic match, which is why you're here, right? To rewire that. So if that frequency doesn't exist, and if it's not an energetic match, then what is? Right? And that's always a question. If that doesn't work anymore, then what will? And what will is the higher frequency of I know I'm meant to be here. I know I was called for my body to remember. And I know the ones that are meant to remember with me will know when it's time. And so my only job, if I want to play with time, is to show up with that light and with that knowing, to actually have fun with it, to start speaking from that place of knowing, to not bring self-doubt. Do they love me? Will they understand me? Will they get it? Doesn't matter. The right person will. That's what matters. And so that's the person you're speaking to. You're not necessarily speaking to your neighbor and your uncle and those people that are creeping on your Instagram. Those are not the people you're speaking to. You're speaking to the people that have already said yes, and it's already done, and that their body is like opening. Their body is ripe to receive this medicine. This is who you are speaking to. Can you put a 1 if you're just starting to feel like, oh, okay, something just like, okay, right? Because it's like, yeah, and I always say this, your medicine and the medicine of Lumivitae is the answer to their prayers. The right ones, like look at all of you and the energy you brought in coming in here. You felt a call most of you couldn't put words on. Like, this makes no sense. Why am I here? Like, what am I, like, what? I'm building a new business now? Okay, here we go. Right? And that's because there's a frequency, there's a pulse, there's probably someone right, on this call that like transmitted that and your body started like being because that's what Lumi does. It's like a remembrance, it's a bubbling. That's what molecular hydrogen does. Yeah, it's actual facts. You're like, why am I here? It's because your body is ready to remember what's required for your next level. And your next level, Lumi, is part of that mission. It's a vehicle of transformation. That's usually how I sell this bottle and how I've sold it. I've been selling this bottle not on the like what it is and what it includes and the PBM, all of that. I mean, I can answer those questions no problem, but like it's a vehicle of transformation. It's a vehicle of acceleration in your life. When you bring that level of light at a cellular level, it will for sure transform you, right? Like who here already feels like since they've been drinking this water, like it doesn't feel like you feel different. Like your biology has been evolving. And that's because there's, dormant DNA, a bunch of stuff that are being activated literally as you do this. So it's no surprise. Now I say this, and I would love to open and see what is moving through you. Where are you feeling that there's a part of you that's like, yes, but? Who is having like a yes, but? Or yes, but how? Who's having one of those moments right now? Ying, do you want to come up? Do you want to talk to me about that?
Yeah, sure. I think since I have been doing this, I think that the thing that blocks me a lot because I have never earned online before, but
Hmm.
I know that by just being myself, I attract. But the selling have been blocking me a lot to dive into how do I sell without selling. Uh, it's like when you get the wealth, but you cannot hold it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
Okay.
it's the integration with the body that really needs to know the trusting that it's actually gonna happen. But since I guess when the sales come, then you get more confident. But before that happen, it feels like when you're just posting every day and nothing happened, nobody
Yes.
responds, or when people is like, "What are you doing? What are you selling?" Or like, what is this product that you like? Not even that, then you think like, am I crazy for doing this? But I know
Okay.
it's working because I mean I have been drinking this and I know my body. I'm healing from a surgery and I know how much has been happening for me for my own light. But again, try to share it to people who don't understand. That's another pillar.
Yes. Okay. I'm so glad you're bringing this up because there's so many nuggets in here. First thing, did you notice like the thoughts that you shared? Like, oh, am I crazy? What are they going to think? All of these thoughts, even if you have the most beautiful reel and the most beautiful story online, well, guess what people feel? They feel those thoughts. That's why the invisible work, this is where the game is at in business. Like it is literally where the game is at because it'll feel off. People won't be able to actually find out why, but they'll feel like, I'm not buying it. Like there's something about this. It's not clicking yet. I'm not buying it. There's something here. It's not embodied. It feels like it's not it. And that is because you are still trying to sell instead of inviting the ones that are meant to remember. To me, in Lumi, we are not selling. We are inviting precisely the ones that are meant to be walking with us. So, what does that mean? It means, well, do you see how you would frame your caption or your reel completely different?
Yeah.
Selling is rooted into lack. Selling means, oh man, I need the numbers, I need this to rank, I need that, right? Like selling is the
Yeah.
obsession on what is not here. What does that
Yeah.
create? What do we become an energetic match for?
For lack, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly. The universe is like, oh, she's spending all her time focusing on what she doesn't have, so I must send her more. That's what you're an energetic match for. So what are you receiving? No answers, ghosting, people thinking you're crazy because they're picking up on your hesitation.
Mm.
And so what you focus on grows, right? Joe Dispenza always talks about that. So what do we need to do instead? We're not selling. We're inviting, we're inviting people that are meant to remember. But you can only do this if you know they exist. If you can feel in your body, I wouldn't have been called here to waste my time. It's
Mm.
too big. I would not have been called here if there were not people ready to hear what I have to say. And the power of one. Start with if there was not one person ready to hear this today. Do you see how suddenly what I'm bringing into my field as I'm posting this, what is the invisible perception when I'm a consumer now scrolling and seeing your post? Ah, feels good. There's a trust. There's no rough edges that's like sharp edges. It's like, ah, yes, my nervous system just took a breath. Can you feel the difference?
100%. Yeah. The
So
last few
every
posts that
time,
I've been doing is more like I'm tuning, try to tune in and realize, saying to myself that I'm gonna reach the people that are meant for me without stressing about it. And I think that's make a huge shift for me.
so we're not selling. What we're doing is we're inviting the ones that are meant to remember. But first, before we can do that, and that's why the invisible work matters. Before you guys post anything, by the way, just check with your trust and your frequency. You like that is the responsibility of a leader. You cannot invite people into something that you are not fully rooted into. Otherwise, you are out of integrity. And that is actually what took network marketing down. That is why we're up against the resistance that we are, because people have literal PTSD from being lured into something that wasn't true. People have been lured into something because of selling and pushing and urgency, which was all rooted in lack. And so what they received was lack. And so, as a leader, a flight, because that's who you are, our responsibility is not to sell from that place, it's to know better. It's not to recreate the same loop. It's to actually interrupt that loop by first of all checking in with yourself. Do I know that this is already done? When you say yes is when you show up online. If you're still saying then you check in with yourself and you master your thoughts. You master your energy, then you show up, not the opposite. Does that help to reframe?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing. So powerful. I wonder if there's one more person that is feeling activated or being like, oh, um, yes, please. Hello.
Hi there. Is that
Yeah.
me you're thinking of putting?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so I'm going to be really vulnerable here.
please.
Um, so I've done a ton of work on connection, and right now my ego is repeating old story, which
Mm,
I don't feel like I feel like I'm good with it right now, but I just want to do this to share this to have a recording as assistance later or another time if there's something. So, the story is that when I've done something like this before, or whenever I've put myself out there and really shown up and worked on serving and coming from love and all of these things, it's like a bomb has gone off in my life. Son's addictions, each of them had a time, my sister passed away, like all these things sort of happened. So it's like been this for a long time. Now I know part of that is that was a journey I was meant to experience. I know that I'm to use that to help others, to make a difference, to show up, to share in all of those things. And there's still that I can feel that resistance where I'm afraid a little bit.
yeah. Yes.
Because it's like, is there going to be another bomb go off? And when I
Mm.
get, and I never got to where I wanted to get or felt that I was, the potential to get, because then it would be like slam. So if you could help me with that, that would be really valuable for me right now.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. And who can relate in the chat? This is basically the sneaky fear of success that keeps us looping. And I appreciate you brought this here because it is so important to pinpoint. So basically, if I was to interpret what you just said, is there is a fear that every time things start to go well, something goes bad, right? And this is the pattern of the martyr and the pattern of the suffering, which means that success always needs to be conditional. Basically, what you are telling me is that what you believe is that success only works if it's conditional. So I cannot have, like, it's this or that. But we're here with the vehicle of molecular hydrogen to actually remember that we get to have it all at the same time and rewire our body that way through safety, right? Through the supportive community here, but also what the molecule does at a nervous system level. Now, when you said that, where did it live in your body? Can you tell me like where you feel like a knot, an activation? I mean, I'm feeling it sort of in my heart, but I don't know about you.
Yeah, definitely in my heart, partly in my lower back and in here.
Yeah, okay. So lower back is often in maternal lineage, so that's probably a pattern that is old and generational. So just check that, because some of that is not yours to carry anymore, right? And this is so common for a lot of us. Like we have witnessed that unfolding so much
Can
in and
Sorry, can I just add something on that? The thing about my lower back, which is so interesting, is that I feel like so much is coming undone in there. That's why there's so much happening in so many different ways than I've ever felt before. So I feel it's a good thing. I'm celebrating it.
yes,
So
that's
I
the
hear you.
disruptor. Totally. You're basically reclaiming what was never yours. You're reclaiming your divine design, right? And that's why it's like all of the things that are still in the way of fully claiming this life from abundance and overflow is showing up right now, right? So if we then were to, okay, so in your heart, just maybe close your eyes and take a deep breath. And basically, what I'm sensing is the heart is being like locked up for protection, right? Because this is a pattern. The pattern of suffering, believe it or not, is a pattern of protection. And so, if you were to breathe in so much light into your heart, and all of you who are feeling it somewhere in your body are going to do the same process, but to that part of your body. And you're just going to bring all the light in your heart and breathe it in and make it expand. You're going to make it expand until you feel the activation and the softening. Okay, so it might take a moment here. So just keep breathing in that light and that safety. I am being held. I spoke up. I am ready to receive. So if I'm no longer available, if my heart is no longer available for suffering, and if I know that I'm here to rewire this, then what else is available? And just listen to what your heart is telling you. Each of you are going to have an individual response. What else is available suddenly? You might hear a message, you might hear exactly what you like, the medicine you're here to receive. Like, what is available is usually success at no cost. And what is available also, I always say your ideal business will heal you. That's why Lumi is so powerful. What is available is, guess what? The people that are meant to walk this journey with you, they carry this wound as well. And so what if you actually started using that in the, like, if you started to share, like, you guys, it took me a while to believe that this, I love it took me a while to believe that I could share this without like a part of my life broke, like falling apart. because I know that so many of us have learned that it's one or the other, that we can't have success without cost. And I'm here to be the living proof that we're rewiring this. And those of you who want to walk this journey with me and rewire this wound with me, this is what I'm doing. And I'm using the vehicle of molecular hydrogen to support us at a mitochondria and a cellular level to do that. Yes, yes, I see your body being like, fuck yes. Yes, like that deep exhale of like, I get to have it all at the same time, and there's no random reason why you're here. It was actually to rewire this. And so if you were to believe that, if you were to believe that that is your new reality starting right here, right now, when you are sharing online, what would shift? You're not selling, you're inviting people that are feeling the same wound, the same, like, I can't say yes to this because if I say yes to this, well, like something's going to have to give. Maybe I'm not going to have enough time for my kids. Maybe my money, it's like the stories are infinite, but none of them are real. And some of them are not even ours. Deep breath. And so you can go back into your heart and do this again and again and come back into where you feel it into your body and just somatically release it, dissolve it, send it light, and then always reframe it with like, okay, what else is available? What else is available? Because you're here not just to sell a bottle or tablets. You're here to actually extend, and this is what we're all doing. Like imagine if people knew what's happening in this room right now. How many people do you think would love to be here? Just in exchange for purchasing a bottle. Like what? So this is the door that people don't know is existing right now on the internet that you are opening for them. Right? So this is your path. And I'm so glad you brought it up today because bringing this from your heart changes everything. Can you feel it? Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Mm. Yes. So that's what we do here. And yes, we take actions. Yes, there's metrics. Yes, there's ranks and stuff. But ultimately, if we don't believe that we deserve our spot here, if we don't believe in the invisible, if we don't believe into the divine timing, well, you can make your way through this, but it's going to be painful. And it's going to be a repeat of what you've already done. And none of you are here to repeat the past. You're here to disrupt, to share, like to really pattern interrupt. Because that's what Lumivitae is meant to be. That's the only way that we will grow is actually by showing that we are a pattern interrupt. And so it requires all of us to step into that responsibility as leaders. We cannot be entertaining and chasing the shiny object like we used to. There's another way. And it starts with self-leadership and self-mastery. So I appreciate your presence. I appreciate your heart. I appreciate your light and your courage, because this is also why there's a divine timing in who is joining when. Not everybody is willing to, has the courage to walk this path. It's like freaking hard. It's real. But those that are called are so ready, and their soul is just going to be like, hallelujah. This is what I've been praying for. And I hear this all the time. And of course, right? And so how do we make sure it stays that way? It's our job to show up that way. Otherwise, it can slip back into the shiny object syndrome real fast. So we each have to call each other out. We have to walk in integrity. It starts with us. What we want to see, we have to take leadership for it. So this was a little bit of a come to Jesus moment. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for your time. As always, if there's anything that comes up after this, you can find me. You can find me in our Light Leader Telegram chat. Like, this is how it's meant to flow. So I appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Sending so much love, and you're not selling, you are sharing. Bye.